Hello everyone, and welcome back to the final video in the car build series. So in this video we'll be finishing up the car build, adding our last little extra pieces to make it fully functioning and everything. This is the main piece of the build. This is where we will be doing most of the work in this video, but just a few updates just because the plan is diverging from its original path. So originally I was going to make these wood drawers and this wood table and such, but I don't have a ton of wood left. I only have a little bit, and I also, the way this piece is built, let me turn it around so you can see. If you were to add slides onto this, you can't just mount, like I wanted to use real drawer slides. I didn't want to make my own slides. And to do that, you would need another piece of wood going this way to attach the drawer slides to. And I don't have that much wood. So I'm sorry, but I took the easy way out. I got some plastic storage bins. These are like under the bed storage bins. I think these will actually fit nicely to cover this whole area with drawers so that I can sort of store more, access all the gear, even if it's in the back sort of thing. And I do still want to do something with the rest of the wood, but I'm just not sure yet. We're in early stages of this process. So I think first thing I'm going to do is put the build into my car and then figure out what's missing. Okay, at the car with the platform in, and I wanted to point something out about why I couldn't just build just boxes and slide the boxes in and out. And the reason is this lip. So watch my hand. Disappears. It's about 3 inches, which cuts the height of the platform if you put a drawer in from 9 inches to 6. So I sort of didn't want to do that. With a plastic container, I can sort of like tilt it and pull it up and it's not gonna hurt this. And I can still pile stuff on top of it because it has a lid. So it was just, there's more benefits to getting the plastic container than to building the wood containers for under this. Let's see if the plastic containers fit, because I've tried it with just the 4 legs, but there's that middle support leg that I'm not sure if it's gonna hit or not, so let's see. So they're so close. Like this one is technically in, but it's tilted. And this one can't go past that little thing. Gosh. Time to return these. Hours later, I'm back. I spent a ton of time in Walmart trying to figure out the correct size container, and because this is a custom build, basically there isn't one. So I have a combination of containers now under the build that I will sort of go through my ideas for what it is before I sort of pack them and get it pre-set up for when we actually do go camping. So just really fast, I know you can see this gap, but this gap is so, like without that gap you wouldn't be able to take the containers out at all. So my idea is to put stuff that's used for the build or stuff we're immediately going to take out when we get to the campsite, such as chairs or a table, that sort of thing, so that the space is still utilized in transportation, but just not once everything is set up. So I'm going to take all the containers out and show you what they are. People normally get containers like this that are longer and you can sort of slide them to the back and in. But I like the idea of really organizing my stuff, which means a lot of small groups. And because you can't section off one of these without getting something else, I decided to just get 2 smaller containers that are identical, that match the size of this big container. So these are my 2 main ones, so those go in first. So the idea is to sort of have only 1 or 2 containers out at a time, and then that way you're sort of keeping the space clear and you don't have these 2 huge tubs that you sort of have to keep going in and out for. You can sort of just take one thing. So let's say these 2 containers are identical. They're for the front section. So these would be stuff that you use more immediately or all the time. Cooking utensils or stuff to start a fire, those sorts of things. So those would be like immediate access. Then once you're done with those, you can just put them back in any section. So there's 2 of those containers. And then this container is for the side area right here. So this, the idea is this will be for Kaya's food. So we can sort of get to it all the time. So then we have these 2 bottles. My idea is to sort of have one for cooking water and one for drinking water. Now I did in my last video show I just got a Platypus water filtration system. So my hope is because they're smaller, it would be easier to sort of just like fill these up and keep up with what is supposed to go in each bottle. And then I will also have a cooler that has backpack straps, and that's gonna go on the other end to sort of be a side door access thing. We're here at the camping storage to sort of determine what stuff needs to come on us with the trip this weekend and what stuff can stay here. So if you want to know what camping gear I have, I went through all of it last week when I was clearing it out, getting rid of extras and duplicates sort of thing. So if you want to know what it is, be sure to check that out. So I'm just going to pull stuff that I think we should bring, so then that way I can load up the little bins for the car and then figure out what needs to go in other places and that sort of thing. So it's been a little bit since I filmed those last clips. There have been some positive life developments that have happened, and those will come out in a later video and all that stuff. I'll keep you guys informed. But it's sort of changing the car build, because I may not be able to keep this car build for a very long time. So now I'm just considering what stuff is actually necessary for the build to be done so that I can actually use it right now. So I've been trying to do that. I actually just figured out how to fully attach this tent thing to my car because I don't have roof rails and it has a different way to attach. So I just figured that out, so that is good. So I got some other items that I knew I would need outside of the containers. So I got this backpack cooler, not to necessarily like hike around with our goods, but it's a good skinny tall cooler that can fit on the upper end of the build so that we can have a cooler with all of our goodies in it. And I also got a little yellow folding table so that when we use our normal camp chairs, we sort of have somewhere to sit at the back end of the build, because this awning sort of extends so you can sit in the shade right behind the build, which is really nice. So I realized I can guess all day what this build is missing, but until I actually try it out, I'm not gonna know what's missing. So that's what I'm going to do this weekend. Kaya and I will be going to our local state park to try out the build, and that video will actually be next week. I know there wasn't a lot of advancements in this video, but just know I'm trying to get to the end. We are extremely close. These containers were a huge step forward in the organization process, and be sure to tune in next week so you can see how the build's first trial actually goes. I'll see you there. Bye.